This is something that I'm just following the diagram, trying to match this, match that to go where that goes, so this goes the same way. That's all I'm doing. I'm not an expert. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bad Decisions. I can't help myself. I had buddies that call me up and say, hey, can you help me? And I say, yes. A friend of mine called me up about this 1982, actually he didn't call me, a friend of mine sent me a message about this 1982 Yamaha XT200. Cool little bike. And he said, you know, some of the wires have been cut by the ignition. I think they've all been cut. Wait, let me pull the tank off so you can see in all its glory. There we go. Let's take a closer look at this carnage. Not sure exactly what their plans were, what they were trying to do, but they got all of them. I mean, look, even this plug, they cut that one right there. I don't know if they were trying to wire it to where it could run without a battery or what was going on. But look, and not only did they cut them, but they're all twisted, which I appreciate that, but I don't believe it's supposed to go from dark blue to light blue. So that may be a bit of a problem. So we'll have to try to figure out where this stuff goes. Look at this. I'm not exactly sure what they were doing, but this is carnage. Like, I don't know. Look, we got more of them over here. I'm thinking these black ones probably go up in here. But look, here's the light blue one looking for a home. I don't know what they were doing. The good thing is I believe that some of these are turn signals and things like that. I know this brown is a turn signal. I think this green and yellow is either turn signal or tail light, something like that. The Yamaha, so I want to make sure I don't get my Honda and my other wires mixed up, which is the reason why we have this. So I scoured the internet trying to find an owner's manual for this thing. Trying to find a service manual, one that I didn't have to pay for, and two, that I could have it in a digital download. This one is not the best quality image, but it being this big is fine with me. And now we just have to figure out where everything goes. And this painstaking puzzle is just going to start from one end and work our way back. Honestly, what I'm going to do is just start with little things, knowing where everything goes. Like, simple thing, I need some winds. Fix that one. I know that blue goes to that blue, and we'll confirm it on the wiring diagram. I'm going to use the heat shrink solder, and then we'll tape this back up and then be done with it. Just try to find some winds along the way. So this is what we're going to be using. If you haven't found these, you need to go find them because they're great, especially for things like this. Maybe not to this magnitude. He may end up down the line getting a new harness, but for what we're doing, this little guy will work out great. You just slip them on, they heat, and this has glue in it, so it heats up this side and it shrinks. This solder in the middle just melts and it fuses it together, so you end up with a really good connection. And we're going to do that with all of them. Then we're going to tape them up with a little electrical tape, and hopefully we get to the end and we don't have any extra wires. So let's get at it. Okay, let's see, fingers crossed that they chose not to do stuff in here. Come on. Oh, good. They didn't do that. This is all still the way it goes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So they didn't destroy that. Just everything back this way. So I was going through, just looking at it, I'll kind of give you a deeper look. I'm trying to sort out to make sure all of the wires leaving this is the CDI box, I believe. Leaving the CDI box is good. Guy came untwisted, so let me fix it back. So checking to make sure that everything that comes out, I'm trying to identify this plug. The good thing is that the black is my ground. So I need to make sure that my grounds are good all the way through. Look at this. What were they? Maybe these two went right there. I'm not sure. This black and white to red is a little suspect. Maybe they had maybe the switch went bad and they were trying to source it with the switch, but they didn't do anything with those wires. I mean, they're right, there's not that many of them. They're right here. There's not a whole bunch that goes up there on that side. I think there may be a little bit more. Let's look and see. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, there's not a lot over there. There's black and white for the run switch, and then there is a brown and red and a green and yellow. No, I think that, yeah. Is that it? Let's see. No, all I have is, no, I was wrong on that. It's just that relay is somewhere else. It's down a little bit further, because this is a relay. So it's just that comes out, so it's not bad. So thankfully they didn't destroy that. But maybe that switch was bad. Maybe it stopped working and they tried to hot wire it under here, because these are them. They just ran the black and white to constant power. Huh. We may put a battery in and see where the fire starts, and then just start there. Okay, here's the first one of 1 million. You can see that the solder melts, and it's got a nice weatherproof soldered joint that's not going to come apart. Well, it won't come apart right there. So let's do 800,000 more. Okay, I went ahead and put electrical tape that back up, so now that'll tuck in out of the way where it goes. And I'm just going to keep doing this. We're going to, again, baby steps. I want to start with something. I know that that's good, that's out of the way, and then we're going to work our way forward. So all of these are for the lights in the back. Blue is what supplies the power. Black is the ground. Left, right, and then this is running lights. So I'm just gonna stick these up over here out of the way. For now, I'm gonna put a piece of blue tape on them just so I can get back to them a little later. Okay, so I'm gonna take these are the ones from the back here. Go to tail light and turn signals for the back. We don't even have turn signals in the back. So I'm gonna go ahead and, I should terminate them all anyway. We'll leave the ends out. I'm gonna tape them up out of the way. We may put something over the ends just so that while we're messing with it, we don't have to worry with them sparking or anything like that. So shorting. Gonna leave this guy out. This is a ground. I'm gonna have to sort it out. We'll take this chocolate one here, just so I can kind of get that out of the way, because it runs up front. It's probably supposed to connect back to this guy, which is, I'm guessing, where it's going to go. But we're just going to get it out of the way because we know it's not anything we need. It's turn signals. I got to figure out where the dark green one is, because it should be coming out of there too. But we're not worried about that just yet. Oh. See, you have to worry about stuff when you find stuff like this. See, and it just, the more you look, the more you don't like. See, that's a black and a white wire, and that is coming from, I think it's coming from the other side. No, I may be wrong. Yeah. We're gonna have to sort that there. That black and white, and a black. So that'll have to be repaired. That's gonna go into this madness. Let's keep going. Okay, this guy is a ground that comes out of here and into this plug. Looks like just from pulling the wiring harness apart, all the covering off. This didn't have one. This is a factory connection right here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and slip this one over it and then just do the same thing. That way that's protected just until we get to the next step. Okay, we have this one. This looks like a factory connection, but again, it's not under the harness anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cut it, splice in one of these solder joints that I'm doing, and then wrap the whole thing up. I mean, I guess I could just wrap it up the way it is. Yeah, maybe I'll just wrap it up the way it is. That's a good connection. Let me just do that. Okay, so we have this cleaned up so far. Now we're running to these wires. Have to figure out this blue. That's still for power, but I've got to figure out, looks like this guy probably comes, start matching up colors. It starts to get a little easier, but I've got two of them. I got two light blues, so I just have to figure out which way they go and which ones to go to it, and we'll just keep baby steps. Look at what I have here, go look over there to see what's on it, and then just keep going back and forth and see what I can find and see what works. But I'm pretty happy about this. Still got this guy that we got to choose from, which could be, that looks like that could go there. Looks like the right length of wire too. So that's the other thing that's kind of helping out, is if I kind of put things where they go, then I end up with, you know, some length of wire that goes, okay, that could fit there, that could fit there. So let me keep plugging away. I'm just getting the wiring harness back the way it's supposed to be, or somewhere near what it was supposed to be. Okay, let's go ahead and snip this. Just trying to get just the black and white, leave that red one connected, and then we'll look to connect these back and maybe connect that to there. That may be what it needs. I've got to see where the rest of my black and whites are. Right here. So let me figure the rest out. Okay, let's go ahead and trim this. Guys, this tool is one I can't live without. I got it at Barber a couple of years ago, paid $5 for it, and I love it. It came in the box and everything, and I use it. It's the one tool I can't live without. This guy is awesome, and there's the box. So we went ahead and got the black and white one sorted. It comes from the CDI, splits off, goes to the run switch, and then to the ignition switch. I added a plug right here on this side so we can plug it in, and that bit is done. So that's good. We've got that black and white hooked up. Now we have to figure out the rest of our ground and then our power. For these little plugs like this, these little connectors, bullet connectors and male-female connectors, once I crimp it on, I take one of these, so I crimp it on, I take one of these heat shrink solder joints, cut the end off, slip that over, heat shrink that, heat shrink this guy onto this guy, and then it's got a nice, it solders it together, and it's a stronger connection, and it's weatherproof on the backside too. So I like doing that. That's what I did right here. It's just soldered in, and the solder comes through, gets the wire. It's not going anywhere. Okay, we're on to something. We've got the red sorted. This goes to the battery. The battery cable is right here. This is the red for the battery. It goes to a plug, to a fuse, to a plug, to here, directly to the rectifier, and then it branches off and goes directly to this plug with the brown and red wire. Let me show you. Follow the bouncing finger. Here we go, I'll show you. So it leaves the battery, plug, fuse, plug, splits off here, rectifier, goes all the way to the red and brown and red switch, which goes to our ignition switch. So that's where we have to connect that. Love it when a plan comes together. Okay guys, I need to pause really quickly and let you guys know I am not a wiring expert, nor do I play one on TV. So this is something that I'm just following the diagram, trying to match this, match that to go where that goes, so this goes the same way. That's all I'm doing. I'm not an expert. If somebody out there has a better way of doing it, please, please, please let me know, because I am just a guy in his garage trying to sort through this stuff. It's just a puzzle. The one thing I have realized is if you just take your time and sort through it one at a time, you'll make your way through it. So let's stay at it.
One eternity later.
Okay guys, as you can see, we've got our wiring cleaned up. Great thing, turn the key on. We have headlight, we have power running all the way through the harness like it should, and my battery's kind of dead. You can hear the horn trying to work. So the only problem we have is we have power going everywhere except from the CDI, box, and we just don't have it. This orange wire right here is what drives the coil, and I get no power coming out of it. When I test the CDI, it doesn't work. I don't get any reading. When I test the pickup down here, there's a green and white wire, which is back behind here. I'll show you. Come on. It's back in here. This guy right here, when I test this, it works. So the pickup is good. The CDI not testing good. So the coil's testing on the upper range of what the service manual said. So coil could be it, but I believe with all this monkey business that they were doing and the wiring being all hacked up, that they fried the CDI box. And that's going to be our next step. It's the only thing we do. We get power going everywhere except out of here. So, and it should be this orange wire right there, should be the orange wire which goes to the coil, which is right there. The only wire to the coil. It grounds. Our grounds are good. We've tested our grounds all the way around. Everything else has worked except right there. So we get no spark. But our wiring harness is solved. We've solved that dilemma. That was our wiring harness and what was wrong with it. So we've solved that. We got power that runs all the way through. All of the wires that run from one end to the other are where they should be. We just don't have spark because we have a faulty CDI. What you gonna do? You gotta find out. You gotta find out. So one way to find out is fix all the wires. It was a painstaking process. It wasn't hard or strenuous, it was just tedious, because making sure you get the right one, making sure that making sure that we were following the wires so our circuit ended up and not just putting them together, especially when they end up in multiple places. Like I said, just tedious. And yeah, looked up in the service manual on how to test it. Guys, that's why I always say the first thing you should get when you buy a new motorcycle, a new old motorcycle, is find the factory service manual. Because it'll give you all of the stuff that you need. And like I said before, this guy, the pickup coil was right within range. The charge coil, I got 0. It's not like I got low. I got 0, so I got nothing. So it's fried on the inside. And we did the same thing with testing the coils. So do yourself a favor. Anytime you get an old motorcycle, a new old motorcycle for you, find the service manual and the owner's manual. Our challenge today to take that hacked up wiring harness. If you guys don't remember what it looked like, went from this to this, and we still have a side cover to put on, seat and tank and all that, but we are light years ahead of where we were before. It just, you know, it's just one of those things. What you gonna do? So the question is are humans worse than mice when it comes to electrical on your motorcycle? Let me know in the comments down below. I think they might be. Guys, I want to thank you for watching yet another episode of Motorcycle Rewind. And do me a favor, like, tag, share, and follow us on Instagram at Motorcycle Rewind. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thanks again, guys, and have a great day.